Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome once again to Climax TV. Today, I just want to talk about Carlos Alcaraz on his victory in Monte Carlo. So, actually, there were a bunch of things I wanted to talk about regarding Carlos Alcaraz before he won this particular title. You know, he was losing a lot of games. The last time I did my video, I had a very strong words about Carlos Alcaraz regarding the way he was losing his games and the way he was at the fashion he was just losing them. So if I just go back to the beginning of the season, the loss he did against Novak Djokovic, where I explained that he was not really focused in winning the game, rather than he was just trying to say that he's the one solemnly responsible for stopping Novak Djokovic winning another Grand Slam title. I think at the back of his mind is in his head trying to do all that. That's why you see when he lost to Novak Djokovic in the Olympics final, he was very emotional about it, and he went on just getting blank completely almost throughout the whole season of 2024 season. If you see that result, he never really came back until he won that Beijing tournament against Yannick Sinner. It was later on in the season when he actually did that. I think that the Yannick Sinner games actually brought him back to life again, or rather, the game he played against Thomas Mahach in the Davis Cup competition, where Thomas Mahach finally retired. So he went back again, and then he went on and win the what's it called, the Lever Cup. Inspiring with some of the best performances that he did in the Lever Cup competition. So let me just come back to the present day moment of the kind of performances we are seeing right now from Carlos Alcaraz. When he lost against after he lost that match against Novak Djokovic, then he won the first indoors tournament that he did in the Rotterdam final against Alex de Minaur. 3 sets. He won that match. Then he went to Doha. He eventually lost against Laheshka in the quarterfinals. Yeah, I can still remember. And then also he went down to Indian Wells. He played a competition which he has won for the past 2 seasons, the past 2 years. He won it in 2023, and then he won it in 2024. In 2022, he went straight to the semi-final, which he lost to Rafael Nadal, and then Rafael Nadal lost the final against Taylor Fritz. So that's not what we are talking about. Then he went to Miami that same year in 2023, 2022, and he won Miami. Then we all know what has happened in Carlos Alcaraz's career dating to this present moment. So in all, he has won total of 18 titles with so impressive record, which he has won he has won 10 finals, which he has 10 big finals which he has played. He had won all of them. So we are talking about big final. We are talking about Grand Slam finals, and then also the Masters 1000 finals, which he has won a total of 10 big titles, and is considered one of the clutch players right now that we have at the current moment. So why am I? Because when he lost, I didn't do a video about it. I just wrote it down on my bio on my Twitter, saying that Carlos Alcaraz has not improved over the past few seasons. He has remained where he has remained where he is. He has not really improved in his game. So I criticize his coaching team, that they have not been able to add additional value to Carlos Alcaraz's game. That all we have been seeing from Carlos Alcaraz is his own ability, rather than an improvement on the coaches team on what to tell him and what he's supposed to do better. So we always because we have always recognized the kind of talent that Carlos Alcaraz, the kind of talent that he possesses. So, but sometimes when he plays, sometimes he just leaves a lot of question mark. The question mark is always like, why is he playing like this? Why can't he be more consistent like his counterpart, Yannick Sinner, who is more consistent, and he just the way he plays his game is very meticulous about how he plays his point. But rather than Carlos Alcaraz, he's a shot maker. He believes that's how he loves to play the game. He believes if playing fancy shot and keeping the crowd being entertained, rather than just focusing on how he's going to win the games quickly. Sometimes it somehow backfires against him. So when you look at the amount of games he has lost this season, it comes down, for me, in my own opinion, it comes down to one thing only that is missing from his game. That is his service game. His service game is so, sometimes is very I would not call it abysmal. It's so shocking to me that he has not been able to do something about his service game. Is very, very poor when you compare it to other professionals on tour at the moment. When you look at his first serve and second serve ratio, is so his first serve is okay. Is around like 70% first serving, which is not very bad. But when you look at in total on how when the games are being played, then you have to realize he needs to improve on his service game, because sometimes when the game is not going on your way, your service games determine how you are going to determine sometimes how the game is going to finish in your favor, rather than just always grinding out the opponent, because Carlos Alcaraz is going to get breakpoint opportunities regardless of whoever is playing, because he's that good. He's going to anticipate where the serve is coming from, and then he's going to guess right to make sure that those is going to get breakpoint opportunities. So when he managed to do that, sometimes when he's serving for break and then serving to increase his lead, sometimes loses his service for some reason. Why? Because his service game is so poor. Why is he said? Because he has not been able to master a particular service game, where unlike Roger Federer and then also Novak Djokovic, who has been able to master their service game to a point where they know that their serve is going to automatically save them when the critical moment arises. Unlike the likes of Carlos Alcaraz, sometimes I was listening to Gil Gross when he was making analysis on how he lost to Diego Goffin in the Miami Open. His service game was so poor in that game, because if he had enough service game, he would have been able to bail him out of that situation. Because once you are able to anticipate Carlos Alcaraz's serve, you can be able to cause him a lot of damage when he's serving against you, because his service game is very, very predictable. When he's not, if he's most of the time he's serving too much close to the middle, everybody can bring that serve back into the play. That's the reason why I was so critical about his coaching team, saying that they have not been able to add to his game because he's not consistent. He has not mastered a particular service game which can take him out of troubles. many times when he's in trouble, rather than he's just relying on his own ability, because he's that very good when, even when his service game is not working in his favor. So in totally, I just feel like Carlos Alcaraz is so good that even without his service game, he can still do a lot of good things in the tour. So congratulations, now is the world number two back again, which I think like it should have never been more than below that ranking, because it's kind of very surprising to me that he's even world number three at that time, considering the fact that he has won so many titles, even last season to this season. So, what am I trying to say here? This, in this clay court season that just began, and then now he has won his first clay court, important clay court 1000 tournament for the. Actually, this is the first time he's winning this competition. This is the second time he's playing it, and this is the first he's winning for the very first time. So, in the regards to my criticism before he won this particular tournament, I said that Carlos Alcaraz has not he has not improved anything in the past 2 years that he's been on the top. Why? Because of his, most especially is because of his service team. I was advocating for him to have a change of a team, not necessarily firing his whole team, but at least bringing on a new voice. For me, and my consideration was somebody like Goran Ivanisevic, that is going to increase his service game, which is going to bail him out a lot of trouble whenever he's down on point, and is really relying on his service game. So that was one of my main criticism of Carlos Alcaraz when he was losing all these tournament and matches. Even the game he played against Jack Draper in the India West semi-final, which he eventually lost to Jack Draper, it was very poor. It's not like Jack Draper was so good in that particular game, but you can just see that Carlos Alcaraz he couldn't serve to get himself out of trouble at times. So even in this competition that he won in the first match against Francisco Cerundolo, he went down a set and then fought back again, and eventually winning that game. The next game he played against I cannot remember vividly. Was it the German with one-handed backhand? He played that one. He won in straight set, and then also he played against Otto Fils. That was a very intense game. I think Carlos Alcaraz needed that kind of a game for him to gain back his confidence, and then he went and eventually he went down a break very early in that game against Otto Fils. He went down a break again very early in the second set, which no, in the first set he went down a break. Excuse me, 2 times he fought back 4-4, and then eventually lose the set again. And Otto Fils finally served for the first set. Then the second set he won, very tight second set, and then the third set again was also very tight, up and down. So it was a very good competition for Carlos Alcaraz, and by then he was able to eventually win the tournament against Lorenzo Musetti, who was playing very good. I think the reason why Musetti was got a little bit hampered towards the end of the match, third set, he didn't really play anything at all. It was because of, I think, all those games that he has accumulated during the course of the campaign automatically just was too much for him, and then he had a little bit of a problem, so he couldn't finish the match properly. So what am I trying to say here? I'm going to just say that Carlos Alcaraz was not so good in this competition, but eventually winning it for the very first time, which is good for him. It's gonna be very, very good for his confidence going forward in this clay season. He's gonna play Barcelona, and then he's gonna play Madrid. If he does well again in this particular two tournament, I don't see him playing Rome in the later stage of before the French Open. I don't see him playing Rome. But what am I trying to say here is that Carlos Alcaraz is so good, is so talented, that I think for the very first time in the Open era, we are going to see somebody who is going to hold 4 Grand Slam at the same time. At the same time, meaning is capable of winning the Australian Open, the French Open, the Wimbledon, and then the US Open. It's called the Calendar Grand Slam. Is the first. I think it's going to be the very first man who can be able to do that, because he's so good in all surfaces that his game can really transfer to all surfaces in that particular with the kind of playing style that he has. I think he would be the one to be able to replicate that. So without further ado, but I just want to quickly say congratulations to Carlos Alcaraz for winning this Monte Carlo. Then we're going to see if he can be able to win the French Open this season, and then we're going to see what goes on from there. So this is Climax TV. Please subscribe to this channel. Put it in notification. Whenever there is a video, you'll be the first to see it. Put a like button and share this video. Thank you very much. See you on my next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.